We still have about a month to go before summer, and already we've been dealing with temperatures across North Texas in the 80s, the 90s. So it's important to remember to hydrate, especially if you're going to be outside, but you don't always need water to do that. Here with details on when we need to be cautious and some alternative ways that we can stay hydrated is registered dietitian Meriden Zerner. Meriden, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning. And you know, yesterday, I think with the heat index, we'll have to check with your amazing weather folks. It was like in the closer to the 90s, felt like that anyway. And it's at about 80 degrees that we want to start being that much more intentional about our hydration. But we say hydrate with fluids. So it could be water. That's our first choice. You probably saw that coming. This idea of 8 cups, really pretty antiquated, kind of old. For most men, we're actually striving to get more like 13 cups of fluid.
Okay.
That's about 7 of these traditional water bottles. For women, it's more like 9 to 11 cups of fluid, and it's about 5 traditional bottles of water.
Okay, so it's about what, 125 ounces, 100 and...
Ballparking, yep,
Okay.
And everybody's different, and I think that's something to appreciate. Our little people need about 4 cups, you know, depending on how active they are, how humid it is outside. Sometimes it's about body size. So this is where your friendly dietitian can help tailor this. In general, when in doubt, drink a little bit more. If you prefer flavored water, that's fine. All of your bubbly waters count.
Yes.
Your tea does count. Your lemonade does count. The coffees count, just not exactly to the same degree. But, you know, if you're a coffee drinker like I am, you can have your couple cups and you'll get some credit for it. You know, we say that 20% of your hydration actually comes from foods that are high in water content. So these are some of the highest. So your celery is 96% water. Your watermelon is 95% water. So if you're eating the fruits and vegetables most days, you're already covering 20% of your needs. And of course, I'm going to encourage that. Everyone asks about, oh gosh, should I be doing the electrolytes? Should I be doing the Gatorades? With intention, perhaps, if you work outside on construction, if you're out gardening and mowing your lawn, if you're playing sports and you know you're going to be doing that for more than 2 hours, that's where these kinds of things come into play, and they're intentional. You can do it through coconut water. It's high in potassium, but you're trying to get sodium, potassium, calcium, all of these electrolytes to replenish because you're sweating it out so much.
Right.
If it's less than an hour, oh my gosh, water is so fine.
Yeah, obviously these drinks too, you can obviously make them a little bit more appetizing for kiddos, because sometimes kids, they look at water and they say, I don't want to drink that, but you can maybe put a little bit of electrolyte juice in there.
Tastes a little bit. I'm like that. I'm not even a kid, and
most,
I would prefer it with a little
adults are
flavor,
sometimes
right?
like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk to us about the temperatures outside, because obviously you mentioned 80s, 90s, you know, when you need to start paying attention a little bit more. And if you are working out, you probably need a little bit more water than what you're just going to get on a daily basis. But what temperatures do we need to be paying attention to?
From 80 degrees on. And again, if it's really humid out and it's a little bit less than that, yeah, sure, we're going to start to think about it. You may have higher sweat rates, but we're going to be super intentional at 80 degrees on, 90 degrees absolutely, and in that 95 to 100 range, which sadly is a lot of our Texas summer. We're going to hydrate proactively the night before, the morning of, just paying close attention. If you get even a 1 to 2% level of dehydration, it's going to affect your cognition, your mood, your energy. Certainly when we get really, really dehydrated, it can affect kidney stones. So it gets quite serious. And then you're into you know, levels of dehydration that are just dangerous.
So I used to work out in an old oil change shop that was turned into a gym.
Serious
and
gym.
Had no AC, did have a heater in the wintertime. But I noticed too, obviously, some of the things that you can see on this list here, just mood changes, unclear thinking, just not feeling whole, I think, and not yourself. And I would always notice in the summertime when it would get hotter, I would need a lot more water and I wasn't drinking enough. A good shortcut, I've always heard, cut your body weight in half.
Yes.
And then get that in ounces, and
That's
then
a
you're
good place
probably
to
in the
start.
ballpark.
It's a good place to start. And, you know, we talk about even cognition, dementias, that kind of thing. And there's a 72 to 104 study, 72 ounces for women, 104 for men, where if we're even thinking about just that sharp mental response. So we've got all of this information at our fingertips, and really the fingertips would be like right here, and just get it done.
Yeah, get it done is important. You can obviously buy those water bottles that are like, obviously, they look like gallon jugs. Maybe you don't have to drink a gallon of water every day, but make sure you get your water. If you can't drink water, you got those sparkly drinks. drinks or those sparkling sodas. Then you got all these nice fruits and vegetables here that'll give you those that ample hydration. And then, yeah, the electrolytes as well. They are incredible resources on a hot summer day.
Absolutely.
All right, Meriden, thank you so much for being with us. You can go to her website, MeridenZernerNutrition.com, if you'd like to learn a little bit more or talk to her about what you can do with your daily health. We're going to take a quick break here. More Daybreak on Plus after this.